Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Tuesday, March 28, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. The Celtics are healthy and ready to go for the stretch drive with Williams back. Tatum's injury appears to be more precautionary than anything else, and I expect him back in the lineup on Tuesday night. Without both Beal and Kuzma, the Wizards lose not only offensive firepower, but also defensive players to match up with Tatum and Brown. Expect the Celtics defense to have its way with a struggling Wizards offense that has really fallen off track without Beal and Kuzma. Boston is motivated to finish strong to secure the second spot in the Eastern Conference and has an outside shot at earning back the number 1 seed with just 7 games left. Don't expect a letdown in this spot. Our team pick is Boston minus 11 points. Both of these teams rank in the bottom half in the league in terms of pace, and the Wizards have been playing much slower of late relative to their season average. The Celtics have taken pride in their staunch defense and will look to take advantage of the shot-handed Wizards. Washington also gets to the line as rarely as anyone in the league, but sits top 5 in opponent free throw rate. Washington has likewise done well to clog passing lanes and stall opposing offenses. With slow pace and neither team feasting in the paint, the play is the under 228.5 points. Miami Heat vs Toronto Raptors. The Raptors have won 5 of their last 7 games and 9 of their last 10 home games. They are playing well offensively, scoring more than 115 points per game in their last 3 games. They do a good job finding the open man, and they're very aggressive on the offensive glass, grabbing more than 15 offensive rebounds per game in their last 3 games, which will give them more scoring chances. They also do a good job protecting the ball and won't give the Heat a lot of easy scoring opportunities. The Heat usually play well defensively, but they struggled in recent games, giving up more than 116 points per game in their last 3 games, so expect them to have a hard time slowing down the Raptors in this game. The Heat split their last 4 games, but they've lost 2 of their last 3 road games. They have struggled offensively on the road, scoring less than 108 points per game. They don't rebound the ball as well as the Raptors and won't get a lot of extra scoring opportunities against them. They've also been careless with the ball on the road, which will lead to easy scoring opportunities for the Raptors, who average more than 9 steals per game at home. The Raptors are playing very well defensively, holding their last 3 opponents under 107 points per game, and won't have trouble keeping Miami's offense in check. Go with Toronto to cover the spread. Our team pick is Toronto Raptors minus 3 points. Although Miami's defense is one of the best and their offense struggles, many would point to the under, but I like the over as the number is a few points too little. The Raptors are 42-33 in hitting the over, while the Heat is 36-39, but after a loss, Miami is 18-16 in hitting the over. Meanwhile, the Heat is playing at a pace of 98.7, which ranks 28th, while Toronto ranks 27th at a pace of 99.2, which should mean a slower game. Yet, in the 3 games these two teams have played this season, the games are averaging 208.3 ppg, but one game was 98.90, which is an outlier, and if you take that out, the 2 games average 218.5 ppg. Finally, in Miami's last 5 games, the games average 231.4 ppg, and Toronto's last 5 are averaging 224.6 ppg. Take the over. Cleveland Cavaliers vs Atlanta Hawks. The Cavaliers have one of the best defenses in the NBA, but the Hawks have shown the ability to pierce that defense. Back in February, the Hawks beat Cleveland at home, dropping 138 points on the vaunted Cavs defense in an easy win. The Hawks are a much tougher team at home, as they have won 3 of their last 4 games at home, including a win over the Celtics. The Hawks' strong front line matches up well with Cleveland's front line, and the Hawks rarely turn it over, ranking in the top 5 in fewest turnovers. The home team have won both games between these two, so I like the home team here again. Take the Hawks. With a couple days of rest, offense has been a key characteristic for both teams this season. They should be fresh enough to work the ball in transition and fire long triples. Expect a game where Atlanta needs to win so badly that they will be trying too hard to create as many possessions as possible. The over is 5-0 in the Cavaliers' last 5 games following an against the spread win. The over is 4-1 in the Hawks' last 5 home games. Take the over on Tuesday. Charlotte Hornets vs Oklahoma City Thunder. Charlotte is somehow playing well right now, although their opponents may just be struggling too, but they've also found success against the Thunder this season. The Hornets beat them by 8 with a 10-point edge in the paint. OKC takes a lot of shots at the rim, but is the worst team at hitting those shots. Charlotte is one of the best teams at defending the rim in the NBA. If Charlotte avoids fouling the Thunder and giving them a bunch of free throws, they should have a great shot at winning this game. The Thunder offense will struggle to score consistently otherwise. Charlotte should cover for a third straight game. Our team pick is Hornets to cover. OKC sits 10th in the Western Conference standings ahead of Monday night's contests. The 6th and final automatic playoff spot is in reach, only 1.5 games away, but the Dallas Mavericks and Utah Jazz are only 1.5 games behind the Thunder for the last play-in spot. It's a jumbled mess in the West, but the Thunder have 3 straight games against teams that have secured a losing season, beginning with this one. Another thing in OKC's favor, at least for the next 2 games, is playing on their home court where they are 22-15. The Thunder are 16th in offensive rating, led by a turnover percentage that's 5th and a free throw percentage that's 6th. Despite taking 38.8% of their shots at the rim, the 5th highest rate in the NBA, the Thunder are 30th in field goal percentage at the rim, hitting only 58.8%. Every other team in the league shoots at least 60.0% at the rim. On the other end of the floor, the Thunder are 10th in defensive rating. Their primary method of success is forcing turnovers, with the 2nd highest turnover rate in the league defensively. They also hold foes to 61.9% at the rim, the 9th lowest mark in the NBA. Free throws tend to be an issue though, as they allow the 27th most attempts from the charity stripe. Our total pick is over. Orlando Magic vs Memphis Grizzlies. 2 teams riding winning streaks, who sit at opposite ends of the standings this late in the year, makes for an interesting handicap, but the fact that Memphis has those 2 Clippers games looming this week has me siding with the underdog in this game. Orlando's ATS numbers have been great all year. They are a top 5 ATS team overall this year, and I already touched how well they've done against the number in similar spots already this year. Those are all great numbers of support, but it's still more about wanting to fade Memphis in this spot at this current spread. Just too many things have to go right for the Grizzlies to get up and over this spread, and with how well the Magic have been playing lately, I don't see Orlando getting blown out from tip to horn very often. Memphis could easily let the Magic in through the backdoor late if this contest is somewhat out of hand in the 4th, and any other game script basically has Orlando winning outright or Memphis fighting until the end to scratch out a victory. The vast majority of those scenarios suggest an already good ATS team like Orlando will find a way to keep this one close. Our team pick is Orlando plus 8.5 points. With only a day off between games for both teams and both sides coming off outings where they shot 53% plus from the floor for the game, I do think we see some regression to the mean offensively from both sides here, especially with one elite defense, Memphis, on the court. Memphis and Orlando rank 15th and 26th respectively in offensive efficiency this year, and after both offenses shot the ball well above expectation and their season averages last game, I've got a hard time believing either side can duplicate those results. Yes, both sides have great records to the over in non-conference play this year. Memphis is 15-11-1 OU, and Orlando is 29 OU against non-conference teams, but at the same time, Memphis still owns a total plus of minus 1.9 points game when priced as a home favorite, and Orlando is 14-18-2 OU, with a total plus of minus 4.2 game as a road underdog. The spot dictates that we see some defense. Inconsistent offenses off a great outing suggests we see some defense, and having this Orlando team that's 5th in defensive efficiency over their last 3 games, 1.054, playing some defense as well is enough support for me to go under this number. Our total pick is under 234.5 points. New Orleans Pelicans vs Golden State Warriors. The Pelicans are big underdogs entering Tuesday's game against Golden State. Although they won't win the game, I like New Orleans to cover the spread because of how they've played recently and the success they've had this season against the Warriors. Entering Monday, New Orleans has covered the spread in each of their last 4 games. They seem to understand the importance of every game right now as they are in the midst of a heated and crowded playoff race. As I noted above, New Orleans boasts the best 3-point defense in the NBA, and that has helped them tremendously against Golden State this season. In 3 games against the Warriors, the Pelicans have held Golden State to a total of 32 of 106, 30.2% from 3-point range. Golden State has failed to cover the spread in 5 of its last 7 games, and the Warriors were cold at home against Minnesota on Sunday. I like the Pelicans' perimeter defense enough to take them to cover 8.5 on Tuesday. Even though the Warriors play at the fastest pace in the league, I'm taking the under in this game. The under has hit in 4 of the last 6 games for Golden State, and they're coming off arguably their worst offensive performance of the season, with Curry and Thompson in the lineup. For New Orleans, the under has hit in 4 out of the last 5 games entering Monday. The Pelicans' defense has been sensational lately, allowing under 100 points per game across their last 4 contests. Against Golden State this season, the Pelicans have given up just 98.7 points per game, although Curry and Thompson miss time with injuries. The Pelicans rank in the middle of the pack in terms of pace of play, according to dunksandthrees.com. Their elite 3-point defense is trustworthy enough to hold the Warriors to a median number of points. According to dunksandthrees.com, Orleans has the 6th-ranked adjusted defense in the league. Golden State's adjusted defense is 18th, and since the Warriors are 12th in field goal defense, I feel comfortable taking the under, since the total points line is so high. Give me the under.